This Sunday is as big as it gets for the Broncos. They need to beat the Chiefs to get into the playoffs. This is your Denver Sports Daily for January 3rd.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Now, I know you guys might be getting sick of me saying this, but this is the most important game of the Broncos season. It doesn't get more important than this. It really doesn't. It really doesn't at all. The Broncos have had the chance to get into the playoffs for the past 4 weeks now, but haven't been able to pull out a win. This is where they can. Now, the Broncos do take on the Chiefs in the last game of the regular season this Sunday, and obviously is as important as it gets. If the Broncos win, they will clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2015. Now, the good news is the Chiefs did announce that their starters will be sitting, which, of course, is great news for the Broncos and probably the news that the Chiefs want to have. Like, that's what they want to do because they'd much rather face the Broncos than the Bengals in the playoffs. That's an obvious choice for the Chiefs. The Bengals are dangerous to the Chiefs. The Bengals, some reason, have the Chiefs number. Now, the Broncos is a better matchup for the Chiefs. It really is. Now, if the Broncos do lose, they still have a chance to get in. As long as the Bengals and the Dolphins lose as well, which would easily make things much easier for the playoffs because those games are both around the same time as the Broncos. But if the Broncos win, they will control their own destiny. They will get in on their own back. They will win their game and just that's all they need to do. There's only so many times you can say that. All you got to do is win one game and you get in the playoffs. This is the one that you have to win. Now, the good news as well is that the Broncos are already coming into this game as major favorites to win. Right now, the Broncos are projected to win their game by 11 points. Now, nonetheless, no matter what happens, this has been an incredible season for Bo Nix. It really, really has. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season that the Broncos would be having a winning record and a chance to get into the playoffs in the last game of the season, you couldn't draw up a better script for me. That's awesome. That really is. You look at how much this team has gone through in these past several years, and now they are doing well. They have a QB to look forward to. Bo Nix is playing at a high level, but honestly, if they can't get into the playoffs, it's going to be a disappointment to most people because they played so well through so much of the season, and now they're starting to fall apart. And isn't that kind of Broncos-esque? Honestly, like, isn't it a little bit? The Broncos have something to look forward to. They get a positive record. If they can't clinch a playoff spot when they have 4 weeks to do so, that would be so Broncos. And the main point of that is that they've done so well. And this is definitely not a season to look back on no matter what happens in disappointment. This is a season to look back on and say, there's something to look forward to here. There really is. There's some diamonds on this team. There's some real stars and real talent. This is a great team. And with this first season coming in right now, there's a lot to look forward to in the future. Now, moving on, the Avalanche extended their win streak to 6 in a row last night in legitimately one of the most thrilling games I've ever seen. The Avs are down 3-0 with 5 minutes left in the second period. So when you see that, you're like, you're writing them down. I really didn't have much faith. Cale Makar started off the scoring for the Avs, then was followed by Ross Colton to make the score 3-2. The Avs then gave up another goal, down 4-2 early in the third. Mikko Rantanen then scored a goal, but the Sabers fired back. So now you got 5-3 with 4 minutes left remaining in the game. Again, you're writing it off. You're saying it, good game, letting up 5 goals, probably not going to win this game. Unfortunate for the Avs. Then Cale Makar had a clutch slap shot with 2 minutes remaining, but it doesn't get more clutch than Jonathan Drouin scoring the tying goal in only 8 seconds remaining. He sent the game to OT and then right away in overtime. Incredible. Only 48 seconds in, Devontae's got a breakaway, scored an incredible goal and sealed the game. If you guys watch that, I've never seen a more freaking incredible. It was awesome. It was freaking awesome. The amount that I would have paid to get into that stadium, oh my gosh, Ball Arena was freaking flying last night. That was incredible. If you watch the game, I feel bad if you didn't, because that was one of the best performances I've seen from the Avs. And that kind of stuff right there is what makes me think this is a good team. This is a team that's got Stanley Cup hopes. They didn't stop fighting that whole game. You're down 3-0 more than halfway through the second period. That's when a lot of teams give up. The Avs did not. They came back when it mattered most. They really just like turned it up. And the comeback really started when one of the Sabers players injured Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood is forced to come into the game. Now, and don't get it twisted. Nathan McKinnon, although he was quiet on scoring, he was an unsung hero, recording 3 assists. It was just incredible play all around from the Avs. That is how the Avalanche are supposed to play, and that is a Stanley Cup winning team if I've ever seen one. Now, the Avs are now 24-15 and third in the Central Division. It was just incredible. Now, moving on, it is a Nuggets game day. Tonight, the Nugs are welcoming the San Antonio Spurs to Denver in their first matchup of the season. Now, the Nuggets right now are looking to extend their win streak to 4 in a row tonight, and these matchups are always so much fun. Getting to see Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokic go head-to-head. Great, 2 of the great bigs in the league right now, going back and forth. Now, it did just come out that Nikola Jokic is still atop the MVP leaderboard, so don't expect to see Victor Wembanyama locking him up because Jokic has been unconscious everywhere, all across the floor. He's been incredible, and like he's playing at the highest level. Of course he is. Once again, he's going to win his 4th MVP, guys. He really is. Like he's so freaking good. Now, the Nuggets are coming into this game as 8-point favorites, even though Aaron Gordon is still ruled out. They got Russell Westbrook coming in, and he's been playing amazing. 9-2 as a starter, just the kind of stuff that you want to see from somebody like Russell Westbrook. Now, their game will tip off tonight at 7 p.m. That's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to read some of your comments. Let's see. Let's see. Wouldn't the Chiefs rather have the Bengals go to Buffalo, play Josh Allen and the Bills, and attempt to knock them out because the Bills are the only team that beat them this season? I see where your head's at there. Yes, I could see that kind of reasoning, that they would rather have the Bengals go take on the Bills and maybe the Bills can get knocked out. But for some reason, the Bengals have the Chiefs card. So if the Chiefs end up having a matchup with the Bengals, that's not the matchup they want to see. The Chiefs would much rather the Broncos somehow beat the Bills and then the Chiefs play the Broncos. They're counting us out. That really is the fact. The Chiefs want to play the Broncos in the playoffs. The Chiefs don't think the Broncos are a good enough team to beat them. But from that game earlier in the season where the Chiefs had to win on a blocked field goal, there's no reason that they should be wanting us. There really isn't. There's no reason that they should be wanting Denver to come to their house and play them. It's a dumb move on their part, because either way you look at it, if the Broncos or the Bengals beat the Bills, they're both going to come at the Chiefs hot, and they're going to come out there and put up a fight. So I see where your head's at, but kind of disagree. They would much rather play the Broncos, who are a young team, don't have as much playoff experience, than the Bengals, who beat them in the playoffs before. Now let's see. Win and they're in. Can't rely on other teams to get in. It will be a close game for sure. The Chiefs are not going to just lay down. They aren't. And this is the kind of game that you see the backups get in, and they're looking to make a statement. You put backups in a game like this, and they have the opportunity to knock the Broncos out of the playoffs, somebody in their division, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to go out there and want to beat them. That's a great way to get your name on the map. The backups go out there and they take a team out of the playoffs. That's a good way to get an extension or a contract at a different team. You know, somebody comes in, they play amazing. Their other teams are going to look at them and that's the kind of player I want on my team. This is the time for players like that who are sitting on the bench to come in and make a name for themselves. Now that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'm going to be back with you guys on Monday, hopefully recapping a Broncos win and talking about playoffs. Just be incredible. It would just be incredible. Can you imagine how much fun that would be? I really hope that I can be talking about that with you guys on Monday. But until then, I will see you all on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend, and I hope you guys watch the Broncos game because it's going to be so much fun. But I'll see you all on Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. I will see you then. Bye.